Hey y'all, I'm back. Um, I'm back because I done picked up on some new stuff, y'all. Um, Per usual, I've been reading and watching endless things, and um, I had been watching a lot of Dr. Ali's videos. Shout out to him. If you have not seen any of his videos, I definitely recommend that you run over to his page and you look at the footage, not the footage, but the different videos he's put up in regards to Kenneka and her case. He has a legal background, so he's educated, and he really goes through and breaks down a lot of the different things in the case as far as like the evidence, witness statements, all types of things. And one of the things that he pointed out is in this picture that I want to talk about. So, as we know, this is a screenshot of when she was walking through that kitchen. And the reason why I chose this photo, and there's a circle there, is because I know it's kind of hard to see. But if you go back and you actually you watch this film, you will see Kenneka has her phone in her back pocket. That's a problem. Because if we go back to everyone's witness statements, Shamaya, Monifa, Irene, everybody made the same statement, which was apparently Kenneka had forgot her phone and her keys in the room. That is why Monifa and Shamaya went back in the room to get it, right? But how could they go back and get something that she already had? And didn't Shamaya have her keys from jump? Because there's also another video where it shows Kenneka, like when they walked in through the rear entrance, Kenneka gave her keys to Shamaya. So there's discrepancies there. So again, if she forgot her phone in the hotel, why is it, in the room, why is the phone in her back pocket? And if she didn't have her keys, like why, like she gave her keys to Shamaya when they first walked in. So there's lies there. And another thing you have to think about is, was this purposeful, or was it an accident? Because think about it, y'all. If you're under attack and someone is trying to do something to you and kind of like stray you away from other people so that they can bring harm to you, they're more than likely gonna get your phone from you. They're not going to let you keep your phone because they don't want you communicating with anybody about what is going on, right? So the interesting part is in one of Dr. Ali's videos, he had come up with a theory that I think makes a lot of sense. And he was going off of the theory of maybe this was not what was meant to happen. It indeed was an accident. Because he was the first one who pointed out that her phone was in her back pocket when she entered that kitchen. He also shed light on the two lip glosses that we see in the freezer. Clearly, we know the orange one is Monifa's because she was seen photographed with it. So he had shed light on that, and he was saying, what if those lip glosses were in the freezer because they had come back to get Kenneka's phone? He had also said, there were certain witnesses at the party who said that the three of them had left the room together. And then Shamaya and Monifa came back, but they didn't say anything about Kenneka being missing. And then they left out again. So he thinks that maybe they put her in there as a joke, and maybe that's why we see all of the footage that was in the kitchen, the text message from Monifa to Irene. Maybe it was supposed to be a joke. Maybe she was telling her, watch it because he ha ha, Kenneka, she's all messed up. She needs to cool off. She's too drunk. She's too twisted or whatever. We're going to put her ass in the freezer and tell her ass to calm down. Maybe that was the joke. But then when they went back, maybe she was dead. And they didn't know how. They didn't know why. And maybe they were startled. That's why the lip glosses dropped in the freezer. Because they had to go back once they realized she was dead. They had to go back and get her cell phone. Because we also have to think about what Dr. Ali also said was that the security guard in his witness statement, he said that he saw the three of them in the hallway. He said that he saw 3 girls walking in the hallway at one point or another. Okay. Dr. Ali also shed light on the fact that Monifa had asked the security guard for access to the freezer because her friend needed to cool off. So at this point, that means 3 people for sure, facts, not including Irene and whoever else she showed the video to, knew that Kenneka was down there. So maybe the security guard went back and maybe he was the one who ended up fighting with Kenneka. Maybe that's why Kenneka has all of those battle wounds. Maybe it was him she was trying to fight off. Because remember, we did see footage of him walking through hallways, bleeding from his head, bleeding from his hand, but nobody seems to know why. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe he went back for her. And then by the time Monifa and Shamaya got back, they found her like that. And maybe that's why Monifa keeps saying, I wish I didn't leave her. I shouldn't have left my friend. Maybe that's what she's talking about. Maybe it's because she left her in that freezer as a joke and was going to get her back. And then when she went back, she discovered her friend was dead. And I also think that what if the reason Kenneka was wet, what if out of panic, they threw water on her to try and wake her up? Maybe they didn't want to believe that she was gone. Maybe they just, when people, well, I can't say, but when you watch movies and everything like that, and sometimes people discover when someone's dead and they don't want to believe it. And they're just like, no, wake up, wake up, wake up. Maybe that's what happened down there. Maybe that's what they did. And maybe they were in a kitchen. Maybe they dumped water on her trying to wake her up. Maybe they didn't want to believe that she was gone. I don't know. There's just a lot of things that are not adding up still, but I have faith because there's so many of us who have essentially started to look at Kenneka like, our little sister, whether we know her or not, so I have faith that justice will be served for Kenneka as long as there's people out here who really want to figure out, what's going on with her. I'm no private eye. I'm no, video editor or anything like that. I'm just a person out here with a heart who was touched by the story of Kenneka and genuinely just would like to know what happened to her, because the way that she died was completely uncalled for. And there's just way too many questions. And I think that the hotel capitalized on that. And I think the only reason why the hotel probably got involved was because the security guard was seen on that footage and they were trying to protect him, because ultimately protecting him meant protecting themselves. And I think the reason why we see that security guard transporting her around, remember we saw that mysterious trash bag that he was pushing around on a cart? We all know Kenneka was in that damn bag. There was blood dripping from the bag and he had people walking up behind him cleaning that shit up. But that's why that stuff is in the freezer. That's the trash bag. I think they panicked and they tried to move her. That's why they put her in that trash bag. But then when they realized, that they had found her in the freezer, I think that after all of that, they stopped and they said, wait a minute, since she was already there, let's just put her back in there and just leave her there, and just go with the flow of she walked in there on her own. Because the truth is, she very well may have, but not anticipating that all of this was going to go down. Because remember, there was also witnesses that were saying they've never seen Kenneka as turnt as she was. They've never seen her as drunk or as intoxicated as she was that night. I think Irene said it specifically on a couple different occasions and text messages that she had never seen Kenneka like that. And there was a witness that was saying, she was real geeked up and she was complaining that she was hot and that she was ready to go. So that supposedly is supposed to be the reason why Monifa took her down there to that freezer. But I don't know, y'all. Again, this is just my opinion. This is just a thought based on everything that I have watched and read, text messages, witness statements. But again, I definitely recommend that you go over to Dr. Ali's page. Go check him out. Watch his videos. They are a little bit lengthy, but it's because they're jam-packed with so much information. He really goes through and pulls apart different pieces of evidence, witness statements, emails. Like, he just goes through it all from a legal perspective. So I think that he has a lot of valuable information to share. All right, y'all. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. What makes sense? What doesn't? We got to figure this out, y'all.